Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat MAULANA QAMAR Sahib Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Thursday morning at about 9:30 a.m. at Baitul Azkar in Wasiabad, Allahabad, UP, India. Thursday, the 5th of Jumadul Akhirah, 1444, corresponding with the English date, 29th of December 2022. محمد بشر لا كالبشر بل هو ياقوت بين الحجر. Hazrat Wala then quotes the ayat of the Quran Majid, واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تطع من أغفلنا قلبه عن ذكرنا واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا. So Sharh Sadr, when Allah Ta'ala opens the heart and bosom of a person, Alam nashrah laka sadrak, have we not opened your heart? Hazrat Tanvi writes, Bil ilmi wal hilm, by means of knowledge and tolerance. So the ta'alluq of Sharh Sadr and the opening of the heart is not only related, rather restricted to ilm, but rather to hilm as well. From ilm there is marifat, and from hilm there is akhlaq. You have made arrangements for ilm by establishing Darul Ulooms. But what intizam and arrangements have you made for hilm? When I went to Palanpur, Hazrat Wala is saying, from amongst the first talks that I gave was this on Sharh Sadr. Today we made ilm. What intizam did we make and arrangements did we make for ilm? That also is naqis. There is great defect and deficiency in it. We make dua for Sharh Sadr, however, but we have made no arrangements for it. Musa alayhi salatu wassalam is going, rather commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to go to Fir'aun. And then what does he say at that point? He says, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri. Oh my Rabb, expand my bosom for me. Expand for me my bosom. Bil ilm wal hilm. We also understand that for tabligh also there is a great need for ilm and for hilm. We cannot just suffice and make iktifa on ilm, knowledge. Now, on one side, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had all the mu'jizas and the miracles that Allah Ta'ala had given him. Then too, he understood this to be so great that he makes dua to Allah for this before he goes to the court of Fir'aun. So from all of this here, when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam makes dua for this, do we not understand the importance of ilm and knowledge? Ilm is for your mind and to keep your mind right. Dimag ko ti karne ke liye. And hilm is for the heart. Allah Ta'ala does not command Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam to ask for an increase in anything other than that of ilm. وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. And say, oh my Rabb, increase me in knowledge. Hazrat Mufti Mahmud Sahib, when he came here to Allahabad and he gave a talk here, he spoke on the same topic. Rabbi zidni ilma. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib used to say, just by merely staying in Darul Uloom Deoband for a year or 2 years and getting Farigh Tahsil, getting your sanad and that, is that sufficient for knowledge? No, never, not at all. So ilm, by means of ilm, you would get nur. However, by means of hilm, you will be able to stay in control. So Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq of that. Very few people actually have been blessed with Sharh Sadr. This majlis and these gatherings that we have here is for this same reason. So that we can gain ilm and hilm. So Allah Ta'ala is saying, وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ, commanding Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that leave your private chamber in your private apartment. وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ, keep yourself content with those who call their Rabb morning and evening seeking His pleasure, and let not your eyes overlook them seeking the splendor of this worldly life. Allahu Akbar. So restrain yourself, keep yourself content with those who are calling their Rabb morning and evening. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam leaves his private chamber. He comes outside. He sees a group of Sahaba who are absolutely poor. Their bodies and their clothes are dusty. Such meager clothes that they couldn't even cover themselves completely. And he asks them that, why have you people gathered here? And then they say, we are here making the dhikr of Allah, calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then what did Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I have been commanded to come and sit here with you. And then he sits down. Allahu Akbar. Now, isn't this necessary? Don't we understand how deep this is, that the Rasul of Allah is commanded to sit in the companionship of the Sahaba? Now, if this is for the Nabi, then who am I? Who are you? The Nabi himself had been commanded, "Utlu ma uhiya ilayka min al-kitab," recite from that which we have revealed to you from the Quran. So, وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاسْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا, command your family with salat and you yourself be steadfast on it. So, when you command your family to do this and they will do it, then what will happen in the house? There will be ronak. There will be some type of beauty and nur. And not only that, wastabir alayha, not wasbir alayha. There are extra words here. So ziyadati loves, ziyadati maani par dal hai. So when there's extra words used, it shows to how deep the meaning would be. More meaning, deeper meaning. So whatever is for the ummah is most definitely for a Nabi. And then Hazrat Wala says that this is the difference between a Nabi and a king. A king commands, but he doesn't practice on that himself. A Nabi, when the hukum of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes, he makes amal on it first and then he tells the ummah. So the tariq and this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is this. Allah ta'ala give us the tawfiq. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to call. At the time of tahajjud, he used to call me. And majority of the time, it was the time of tahajjud. And more than that, in the winter season. So you would get up and you come like that. You have no shoes on. And you just come like that. And Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to say, now you just came like that. Where's your champal? Where's your jersey? Where's your chadar? You didn't put anything on and you came like that? I mean, in that zamana it was like that. Not like how we are dressed now, today. And then he would go on to tell me, listen, I've told myself. Now I want you to go into the khanqa. I'm telling you this. And then I want you to go into the khanqa and tell everybody that this is what I want from them. Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Muslihul Ummat, who was the Mumtaz Tareen Khalifa of Hazrat Tanvi Rahimahullah. So, Nabi, apne hujre se nikaliye, that come out of your private chamber. Which private chamber is this? The very private chamber in which Jibreel alayhi salatu wassalam used to come. Wahi used to come down there. But come out and sit with those people who are involved in the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sit in the companionship of the Salihin. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was also scolded and reprimanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that abasa wa tawalla an ja'ahu al-a'ma wa ma yudrika la'allahu yazzakka aw yadhakkaru fatanfa'ahu adh-dhikra. So abasa wa tawalla, The Prophet ﷺ frowned and turned his face. And ja'ahul a'ma, because the blind man came to him. وَمَا يُدْرِيكَ لَعَلَّهُ يَزَّكَّى. And what could tell you, O Nabi of Allah, about the prospects of this blind man? Maybe if you had attended to him properly, he would have attained purity. أَوْ يَذَّكَّرُ فَتَنْفَعَهُ الذِّكْرَى. Or have taken the advice, and the advice would have benefited him. أَمَّا مَنِ اسْتَغْنَى. As for the one who doesn't care about deen, these people that are sitting in front of you, فَأَنْتَ لَهُ تَصَدَّى. You are anxious to pursue them, to pursue him. وَمَا عَلَيْكَ أَلَّا يَزَّكَّى. While there is no blame on you if he does not attain purity. If those people don't attain purity, there is no blame on you. وَأَمَّا مَنْ جَاءَكَ يَسْعَى. As regards to the one who came to you rushing eagerly, وَهُوَ يَخْشَى. And he fears Allah, فَأَنْتَ عَنْهُ تَلَهَّى. To him you pay no heed. Allahu Akbar. So Hazrat Shah Sahib then comments on these incidents and these topics. So it is from amongst the usul of tabligh. So now you were seeing to these people, but then the hukam comes down. And what is the hukam now? That no, stop that, abandon that, and do what I am telling you to do. These people were such, no food, no clothing, and they would sit on that platform in Masjidun Nabawi. But it was because of that madrasa that today you are seeing whatever you are seeing in the name of the progress of the deen and the deen reaching the four corners of the world. However, for all of this, okay, so let's carry on now. Hazrat Wala is quoting then the ayat that we quoted to you, وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ. قال السعدي, Sa'di rahimahullah says in the tafsir of this ayah, فيه الأمر بصحبة الأخيار ومجاهدة النفس على صحبتهم ومخالطتهم وإن كانوا فقراء فإن كانوا في صحبتهم من الفوائد ما لا يحصى. Sheikh Sa'di says that in this ayat there is a command regarding the companionship of the saintly and the pious, and in doing that you will have to exert and go against the desires and the comforts of your nafs by sitting in their sohbat and mixing with them even though they are poor. Why? The underlying reason is this: فَإِنَّ فِي صُحْبَتِهِمْ مِنَ الْفَوَائِدِ مَا لَا يُحْصَى. Because in sitting in their company and in the company of saintly people, Sadi is saying in the tafsir of this ayat, مِنَ الْفَوَائِدِ مَا لَا يُحْصَى. There are such benefits and so many and so great that we cannot count. Allahu Akbar. So Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib used to say, especially at that time when we went to Bombay, now people had relatives there, this, that and the other. And then he used to say expressly that listen, rishtedaro mein nahi khana. That don't go and sit and eat with the family and relatives people. No. Khanqa mein, yahan ki khana mein noor hai. Yeah, eat in the khanqa, because in the food of the khanqa there is noor. Jisne mitaya apna naam o nishan. Haft Iqlim ka bana sultan. That person who erased all his traces and effects, he humbled himself completely and totally, he has become the king of the world. So, ni'mal amir ala babil faqir. The best of the rich people are the ones, or is that one who is at the door of the poor man, or at the door of the saintly person. Hazrat Haji Sahib, he used to stand when these prominent people and that used to come, he used to meet them nicely and happily, etc. And then somebody said, Hazrat, you standing for these people and that? He said, no, I'm not standing up because of the wealth that they have. Not because they are prominent and they are rich. No, I'm standing up because of ni'mah. that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said how wonderful they are. These prominent and rich people, how wonderful they are because they came to the door of a durwesh. They came to a door of a poor person. So I'm respecting that ni'mah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man amila bima alima," whoever practices upon that which Allah has given him knowledge on, then Allah Ta'ala gives him the knowledge of that which he knew not before of. Allahu Akbar. What can we say about that earthen pot? Small little earthen pot, matli. That earthen pot which is connected to the ocean. Do you ever think that the water will run dry in that pot if it is connected to the ocean? And this was the example of Hazrat Haji Imdadullah rahimahullah. That all these ulama came and then sat in his majlis and in his company. So, قال Abu Sulaiman al-Khattabi, Abu Sulaiman al-Khattabi So Abu Sulaiman al-Khattabi says, okay, I'm just trying to get and open up that. Abu Sulaiman al-Khattabi says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that ar-rajulu ala dini khalili. That a person is upon the deen of his friend. A person is upon the deen of his friend. فَلْيَنْظُرْ أَحَدُكُمْ مَنْ يُخَالِلْ. Therefore, you should be vigilant on whom you befriend. Now Abu Sulaiman Khattabi says that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam's qawl here, al-mar'u ala dini khalili, it actually means la tukhalil illa man radita dinahu wa amanatah, fa innaka idha khalaltahu qadaka ila dinihi wa madhhabih, wa la taghrur bidinika wa la tukhatir binafsik, fatukhalil man laysa mardiyan fi dinihi wa madhhabih. That you should befriend the person whose religiosity and trustworthiness you are satisfied with. When you befriend him, he will inevitably draw you towards his religion and creed. Do not be deluded into having confidence about your own religiosity, nor put yourself into danger by befriending someone whose religion and creed is disliked. Now, Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala an says that اعتبر الناس بأخدانهم فإن المرء لا يخادن إلا من يعجبه. That you may gauge people by the friends they keep, because a person only befriends someone whom he likes. Thereafter, Hazrat Wala quotes the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam says that مثل الجليس الصالح والسوء كحامل المسك ونافخ الكير. That the similitude of a good companion and an evil companion is like a perfumer and an iron monger. فحامل المسك إما أن يحذيك وإما أن تبتاع منه. The perfumer will either give you some perfume or you may purchase it from him. Or at least you will inhale a good fragrance from him. وَإِمَّا أَن تَجِدَ مِنْهُ رِيحًا طَيِّبَةً. Now, what about the other person? As for the one who blows the bellows, he will either burn your clothes or you will inhale a foul smell from him. ونافخ الكير إما أن يحرق ثيابك وإما أن تجد منه ريحا خبيثة. Now, look at these examples. Hazrat Wala even quotes the example which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gives, the four categories of people which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam divides the people into those who recite the Quran into four categories. And then the first category is that of a person, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam makes a similitude and of him like that of a citrus fruit. Now anyway, the whole hadith then comes to an end. Hazrat Wala then says, it is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that can give examples like these. He was a master. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with that. Now in Al-Adab al-Nabawi, written by Khuwali, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib used to quote from there a lot as well. And in that kitab, this is written by an Arab alim, and he's saying it is only Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that could have given an example like this. So honesty is something very, very great. As-sidqu yunji wal kidhbu yuhlik. Honesty will give you salvation, whereas lying would destroy you. Now Jahangir would say that I have got no hope whatsoever other than this year, that on the day of Qiyamah, Hazrat Mujaddid Al-Faithani will see me and he will take me along. You know, Jahangir, on one occasion, he came and he sat down. We're talking of the ruler of the entire Indo-Pak subcontinent. He sits on the Dastarkhan of Hazrat Mujaddid Al-Faithani. He eats, and when he's done, he says, I do not even get this amount of pleasure from the Shahi Dastarkhan, from the Dastarkhan in the palace. The amount of sweetness and noor and pleasure that I got from this Dastarkhan, no, I don't even have it there. Thereafter, someone asked him, Hazrat Wala quotes, that sleep a bit. Look at what you're doing. You're pushing yourself to what extent? You're going to such a level. Sleep a bit. And then what did he say? He went on to say that I do not want to lose my life in sleeping, but ahead, in front, there is a lot of sleep. We will carry on sleeping. Jagna ho to jag le. Okay, thereafter, Hazrat Wala goes on to say, it is therefore a person's duty to seek out friends who will help him in doing good. They are one of the greatest means for the tazkiyah, the purification and rectification of the carnal self. He must be very wary of intermingling with people and with evil people and corrupt company, because they are more dangerous to him than scabies. Now, make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also gives us, blesses us with good company. Allah ta'ala blesses us with His pleasure, and Allah ta'ala blesses us with such high maqam on the day of Qiyamah that He resurrects us amongst the Anbiya and the Shuhada and the Siddiqeen and the Salihin. So Jahangir used to say that I've got no hope other than that on the day of Qiyamah, Mujaddid will take me, Mujaddid Sahib will take me. Now what was that? Naz of the good company. Don't we learn something from that? That he had so much of hope in that, and he carried out that amal so meticulously here that he sat, he stood, he went, he attended the majalis of Hazrat Mujaddid Al-Faithani. Mushkil nahi hai. There's nothing hard in this here. Just you need to turn your attention a bit. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our islah and bless us with tazkiyah and purification and rectification of this nafs of ours. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.